Recorded live from the GOT Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. This is the All About Nothing podcast. The views expressed on this program are the opinions of the hosts. Listeners are encouraged to follow the show on Twitter at AAN_pod or at theallaboutnothing.com. You can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com. You may also call and leave the show a message at 803-672-0533. Thank you for listening.
Welcome, everybody, to the All About Nothing podcast. We have Trent Clark with us. We also have Nique, the geek. Zach is out, and I don't want to give it completely away because we're going to leave it up for our, what do we call this? This is the second to last episode of the season.
Yes.
So it's the cliffhanger. We're not going to tell you why Zach's out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to tell you. But
Zach will be with us in spirit and audio.
Yeah.
We will be plugging a song that he would not allow us to plug if he was here.
no, I think he would.
You think he would?
Oh,
You
yeah, that's probably one of his.
You think he'd give
That's
that
one
up?
of his smashes. You get what I'm saying?
Smashes.
Me and Trent are on it too, but we're not going to embarrass ourselves like that.
I mean, hey, look, everything doesn't age well. Look, Lil Wayne didn't age well, so
Man.
Oh, my gosh.
you get what I'm saying? Things happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that is a rough look for 27. That is a...
It's crazy.
How old is Lil Wayne now?
He's like 36.
That's it?
He was born in 82.
Every time I see him on camera or on being like on a podcast or on an interview or something like that, you look at him and it's just like, what happened?
Yeah, he's like 38. I just did the math, my bad. But yeah. Oh, what happened? The rock star lifestyle happened. Drugs.
Yeah.
Staying up.
Yeah, COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
Sex.
You looking that up?
Look, yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So Zach is out
38.
this week.
Yeah, he is 38.
You were dead on.
He say it in
He do say it.
he say it
He
in
do say
his
it.
song. He be like 82. I was born ready.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Yep.
Too ready.
So Dominique, Nique the Geek is joining us. He's also playing the role of our engineer and producer. And coming up after the break, we may have a special guest from another podcast joining us.
That's right.
Possibly.
For the last half hour. We'll see if he gets here on time. He may be extremely disappointed. Knowing Desmond, just from meeting him last week, I know he's a Falcons fan. I know how much it hurt today to watch the Falcons lose a 20.
They lost?
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, the last time I checked that game, it was 17-0.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it ended up being 27-31.
Somehow, some way, Brady
Every time.
does it.
Well, you got to
Was it
give it.
Brady?
You got to give it to the league too. They certainly do.
Yeah.
They hand it over to him?
They give him the opportunity to pull those out a lot. You know,
Do you think Brady will be a better
commentator.
than Tony Romo though?
Yes.
You think he'll
Yeah.
be better?
Yeah, I think.
I don't think he can talk. That's what I think it is. I think that's the reason why
He's avoiding the mic.
Oh yeah, like I don't think he can really talk as good as Tony Romo.
That's
I
fair.
think Tony Romo is probably a better commentator than.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I you know what? I would not put that past him because he's been hit in the head a lot.
Yeah.
He's had 22 years in the league. He started playing when he was 23, I think. 23, 22.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's a lot of blows to the head. How many concussions are they allowed a year? Like 2, like 1 or 2, something like that.
I think it's
not
2.
sure.
I think it's 2.
Wow.
Maybe. But you get what I'm saying? Like when we were playing in high school football, like if you got 1 concussion, man, you was out for like 6 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of
back then it was like a liability thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But
but
even-
kids on the field.
But that's what I'm saying. Like coaches would sometimes even tell the players, like, "Hey, are you good? Like, okay, get back in there. Don't
They're in
even
there
tell
with
don't even
flashlight.
tell the guy on the side. Like, keep going. Like, if you can keep going, keep
don't
going."
name any of those coaches.
Oh, I can name them all, but
don't
you get what I'm
name
saying.
them.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
All right. Well, just to do some homework, you can, if you're listening to us on any one of the podcast platforms, we are now on the iHeartRadio, the Spotify, SiriusXM, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and of course, we just recently added the Pandora podcast.
Pandora.
So, we are making our way across all of the mediums,
Making our way downtown.
and not to give it away completely, but coming up in 2021, there is the potential. I have submitted our show to SiriusXM. And with that, the potential is that we would submit a show weekly that would actually be broadcast, I think, in 2 spots a week on whatever channel they deem for our show would be the most appropriate.
Yeah.
That's in the works. It's only been submitted. I haven't gotten any approval or anything on that yet, but they would add their own commercials to it and whatnot. So you would have to... it would not be like on replay. You would still just have to listen when it's on. Okay. But whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, please subscribe, rate, and review
Right now.
Yeah, do it. Because honestly, it's the smart thing to do.
Why not?
You want to get notified when these shows come up.
You do.
You really do. It's been a weird week.
It has. It has.
So we did see the. Was it this week? Yeah, it was this week. December 14th, we did have the election has now been certified by the Electoral College.
Yep.
President-elect Biden has gotten his 306 electoral votes. There were no faithless electors this season, this go-round. So every one of the states that sent electors or their votes, every one of them voted the way that they were told they were supposed to by the states. So Trump walked away with 232. Biden walked away with 306, which means that Biden is our president-elect. It is official. And come January 6th, the Senate will certify the election. And January 20th, we will have a new president sworn in, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Story came in yesterday. Vice President Pence faces the inevitable task of officially sealing President Trump's fate as far as his defeat on January 6th. President Trump's election defeat will become official in the Senate again January 6th. So naturally, he's planning to get the hell out of town as soon as that happens. He actually has right now a trip prepared, international trip. He is leaving the country. He will head to Israel, Bahrain, Poland, and all of this will start immediately after he certifies the election. It sounds as though that based on the schedule, he will not actually come in contact with President Trump at all once the election is certified in the Senate.
Do you think he'll try to go for president?
Pence?
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly,
you think that's him breaking away, trying to be like, y'all voted for him. Y'all know who was really in control of this whole thing. Really and truly.
Would you? Well, obviously you wouldn't. But
What?
would you vote for Pence?
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna
Would
ask?
I vote for Pence?
Yeah, tell us why you might vote for Pence.
I'm not saying I wouldn't vote, but Pence, whenever he was on stage with Kamala, he was like, how can I say it? He was like Donald Trump, but if Donald Trump actually stood on top of what he says, he didn't beat around the bush.
Sure,
he was straightforward.
He's a good
like,
speaker.
This is what I stand for. This is what da 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 da, and that's a little bit why I think Pence would and could definitely beat Trump out for a nomination.
He'd be a better candidate for president.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
He wouldn't be so so divisive. You get what I'm saying? He'll be divisive, but at the same time, it'll be. I don't know how to say it. It'll be.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
He is one of the things that I think that the Democrats would not and they don't like about Pence is that Pence is the quintessential Republican. Mm-hmm. He is the corporatist. He is the conservative. But he is his craziness. I say craziness. Look, he's extremely Christian.
Yeah,
and he is completely against things like abortion. He's completely against homosexuality.
Oh yeah.
He is. I don't know where he falls on things like racism and white power and things like that. I have a feeling
he's old fashioned.
Yeah,
in that sense.
Yeah, I don't think that he is. I don't think he's the exaggerated Trump like Trump is. Mm. That was yours.
All right, that's all the footage we have.
That's okay. You only get one camera angle from here on out. Okay.
It's difficult to imagine Mike Pence being charismatic enough to go out there and run for president. I can't see it. When he sits there and he did the debate with Kamala Harris, it came across. Oh, did it disconnect?
We never plugged it back up. I just thought about that. Yeah.
That's okay,
man.
So
it's okay, man.
Kamala, when he debated Kamala Harris, he did come across as very intelligent, I thought, even though his views were just askewed. But he still towed that party line. It didn't feel like there was any give. There is no moderation to a Vice President Pence running for president, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he could potentially, win the governorship of South Carolina or, I don't know, Utah.
Yeah.
What other states really, really like their white governors?
I was about to say every red state.
Potentially.
I mean, that's kind of.
I mean, Georgia, maybe.
I don't know. They did.
Flipped.
They did. Well, they did. Well, they have. What's his name? Who's this? The governor. It's. He's in the news all the time right now because he's.
No.
Well, anyway, he's he apparently he went up to the White House for one of the Christmas parties just recently. He's he went to one of Trump's or Pompeo's Christmas parties at the White House. So even though Trump's out there talking crap about him,
Kemp.
yeah, Kemp, that's it. Kemp was the guy that sat on the back of his truck in a campaign ad and was shooting a shotgun off the back of his truck as if that made him more of a governor.
No, it made him stand for. He's like, he likes guns. I'm gonna vote for him.
Yeah, that's that southern. You know what I'm saying?
He's a good old Southern boy.
I gotta be honest. Who doesn't like gun? I assume everyone in this room has fired a gun at some point.
Oh yeah,
yes.
It's not an unlikable thing. I like.
It's a lot of power.
A firearm.
I think that might be like something that's a lot more likable in the South, though. I've met people. I met people that's like,
no,
my parents don't have. Like, I grew up where you could not have a gun in the house,
and that's what I was just about to
I
say.
Don't like guns,
but like in New York, like if you grow up in New York, you know not to even have a gun near you because their laws on guns, is so crazy in
California
New York.
too.
Yeah, like so it's certain states where guns aren't like always the point of interest because you get in so much trouble for just even having them.
People in Texas feel weird. It's like not all people in Texas feel weird about people in California because they know the gun laws there. And
right.
Like, they're like, you ever seen like the little jokes on TV shows and they're like,
oh yeah,
never go there. You can't have a gun.
That's what I'm saying. Look at Lil Wayne.
Hippies.
Lil Wayne went to jail for a gun charge and did like 2 years at Rikers Island for a gun charge because they found him again. He didn't even fire the gun.
He was just carrying it.
Who was that?
He got caught with it.
Was that Gilbert Arenas that shot himself?
Oh, through the leg?
Yeah, and he shot himself and went to jail for a long time because he was in New York.
He had a gun at a club. It's just, well, okay, so regardless, I mean, I'm a gun owner. I own several guns, not necessarily because I feel like I need them, but because over time I've purchased this gun or I've purchased this gun. But like I know people that have safes. They have like a safe full of guns, and then they have a safe full of ammunition. And I've joked about this on the podcast before, but I used to hang out with this guy named Paul, and Paul was an avid gun enthusiast is what I'm going to call him. I knew that if the day ever came where there was a zombie apocalypse, Paul's house was the one I was going to. That was until Trump.
Yeah.
After Trump, it has become. I would never go anywhere near Paul because Paul can pick out a liberal,
real quick
out of just sight, Yeah, it's whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's I can't get over like how enthusiastic people are about guns. Like I own guns. I own enough firearms for ammunition for maybe a couple rounds. Yeah, like maybe a couple clips. That's it.
Right now, it's so hard to find guns and ammunition.
Is it really?
Oh my God! Like
they canceled the gun show. It was supposed to be one last.
You want to know why? Because there's so much money that's coming in. Like literally, like I think it's what Palmetto was
Armory.
Yeah. There, where they're selling out. Like they don't even. Usually you can take classes there for the gun classes. They can't even do the gun classes because they don't have bullets.
Wow. That's crazy. That's
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That lets you know how many people are trying to buy guns right now. Like they said with that $1,200 stimulus check, they said so many people bought guns with that money.
Yeah.
That's that to me. But for what? Like, that's one of the things
Because they scared, Barrett.
Scared of what? I want to know what they're scared of.
Like
what
Trumpers.
They're scared of an uproar. They're
scared
scared
of-
of some like.
They're scared of people not seeing this election go their way and them coming at their house because they're pissed.
And I bet these are people that have never owned guns.
Exactly.
This isn't even a legitimate thing to be frightened of, though. Like, if you, I mean, look at the facts. Joe Biden was in the upper bracket of Democrats when it came to like how the NRA viewed him.
Yeah.
Like, he had a pretty high rating with the NRA because he took their money and he never introduced legislation to take guns.
I understand.
But if you look at the percentage, something like 95% of them, all Americans believe that we should have more stringent gun background checks. Like, there should be a universal background check. If you go
but you can't do backup backlog background checks because so many guns have already been out and they're into killers' hands already. So it's like if we start now, it's not gonna be like the kids that's coming up like 18, 19. You get what I'm saying? Buying guns. It's gonna be the people that are like 35 and have like you said, gun safes in their house and they got
gun museums.
You get what I'm saying? Like
you're right.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down like just like you said with that gun safe thing. I think it's kind of funny about people that have gun safes because, say for instance, World War Z does happen. If you run out of bullets before you get back to your gun safe, now you got to open up your gun safe, and you get what I'm saying.
Man, if you get shot, let's say you got all these guns, you ready for war, you get shot by
safe.
a 22 and die.
Exactly.
That's all it takes, bro.
Exactly.
That's all it takes.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, the one rifle I have is an old 22 rifle that my grandfather used in World War II, and I believe that I'm more accurate than any of the handguns that I potentially own. I mean,
I used to joke with my dad about that stuff. He has one of his guns is a 22, and then he like we'll be joking and he'll threaten me with it. I'm like, what you gonna do? I was like, what kind of gun is that? He's like, the kind that kills.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's dead serious because he knows. He knows.
That's the point. Is any gun kills. It doesn't, like, okay, so one of the and this sounds ridiculous, but I keep hearing one of the conversations from, let me just say, some conservative friends that I am around on occasion.
I mean, we all have them,
of course.
My bosses, you know what I'm saying.
So I'm not going to use that word, but yes, that's. I heard a conversation on Thursday where basically the exact same thing was said, was about, you know, that once Biden takes office, he's going to come and take our guns, and that libtards are going to make sure that we have these background checks. They're going to prevent normal people from being able to buy. That is not the point. The point of a background check is to prevent the guns from being legally purchased. I get people are going to buy guns illegally still. You're still going to be able to go to you're still going to be able to go to one of these gun shows and probably buy a gun. I mean, you can go to Palmetto Gun Armory right now. Yeah. And if they make that telephone call to the FBI background check phone number twice and it's busy, they won't stop selling you a gun. At that point, they've tried twice, they couldn't get connected, they'll sell you the gun.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, you know, what's the point?
Just like I think it's harder to buy a gun at a pawn shop than it is to buy a gun at a regular gun store.
Sure.
I think it's because a lot of sketchy stuff goes down at a pawn shop.
I mean, but
we've seen Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
We've all seen Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
It's
scary.
It is. But at the same time, it's like, what is, I still can't wrap my head around. There's no evidence to support this idea that a Democrat president is going to take people's guns. The Democrats may have the ability to put legislation through that would make it more difficult for someone who shouldn't own a firearm legally to purchase a firearm. Yeah. But again, 95% of the public believes that it should be more difficult for someone to buy a gun legally if they shouldn't own a gun legally.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, you know, but to me, that also doesn't count for, okay, so a convicted felon. I believe that once a convicted felon has served his time, he's served his time. He should not be technically called a felon anymore. Yeah. He should have the right to vote brought back. He should have the right to vote, own property brought back, which I guess is from a long time ago. That makes me seem really old.
No, but it makes sense. It makes sense.
But should also have the ability to own a firearm for protection.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know.
You're saying just because he's a felon,
He can't protect himself.
Yeah, that doesn't make no
He
sense.
served his time. Therefore, if he's paid his debt to society, or I say he, whomever, if they have paid their debt to society, it's done. The transaction is ended. They're a regular citizen.
But we're gonna say like this though, because I mean we know somebody that did Fed time, but doing Fed time and state time is completely different.
Yeah.
Like they said, it's more freedom in Feds.
Really?
Yeah. The jails are nicer.
Nicer.
I think it goes with like what kind of crime you've done.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they got those high risk security prisons. You know? And then they got the ones like, okay, you're not in the jail with a bunch of murderers, rapists. So like the security risk is low. So the freedom have
is
a lot more freedom.
Yeah. How about this? So according to statistics, 1 in 5 inmates in the United States has tested positive for COVID-19. 1 in 5. There have been 16,000 deaths in the federal prison system.
Are they from older gentlemen?
From COVID-19. They didn't. Yeah, they didn't disclose ages or anything like that. But
that would tell a lot.
It's crazy though.
That is crazy.
But are they attempting to treat these people? Like,
that's a good question.
Ain't no way.
Because you remember
there's no way.
Kodak Black is in prison and he said he had COVID. Or no, not Kodak Black. Melly.
Oh, Wyeth and
Melly, and he said they weren't doing anything for him.
Oh, I've heard that.
He was suffering. Yeah.
I feel
like they're kind of just letting him like, all right, whatever.
But that's crazy. I get that someone may have been convicted of a crime and they're doing jail time or prison time. That does not make them inhuman. That doesn't take away the fact that the whole idea behind the judicial and the system, as far as like, it's supposed to be a recuperation system. It's supposed to be, you go to jail for a crime, you do the time, you give back to society, and then you're out. But in that time, the idea is that you should be recuperated. You should be given the tools and training to either suppress whatever anger it was that caused you to commit a crime, or give you the tools to be able to have a job outside of that, so that you don't have to go and rob a bank. You don't have to steal from somebody.
Are called rehabilitation.
Exactly.
And none of that is happening.
That's not what our prison system's designed for. Our prison system's run by corporations that are in lockstep with our judicial system, which just makes sure that there's a constant line of people. And unfortunately, it's, for the most part, you guys know, it's black men.
Yeah. The jails and healthcare right now both ran, I think 100% by private. Is really really what's scary right now. Yeah.
I'd have to check, but I don't think there are very many states in the country where the healthcare or where the hospital systems aren't privately owned.
It's ridiculous.
I feel like there's not any.
Yeah.
Well, Texas, I think, is one of the states where it's not a corporately run hospital system. South Carolina is corporately run. You got Prisma. Prisma makes a ton of money. Lexington Medical Center makes a ton of money now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, that's.
I'm really hoping that once we get Biden in office, that there's the potential that we may actually see some change. I don't have a lot of hope for it, but my hope would be that we would potentially see some change come to some of these systems. Honestly, I figured the only way we were going to really see any change was Bernie Sanders was president. Like,
I did too.
I was waiting for that so he could forgive my student loan debt.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was waiting for that.
Well, glad I don't have student loan debt.
There's still the potential we could still. Kamala Harris was one of the senators that was in favor of student loan.
Come on.
If there is a bill that if the Democrats wind up, I don't want to see that.
Come on, man.
If the Democrats do wind up taking the Senate, and if we have Ossoff and Warnock get voted into the Senate from the state of Georgia, there is the potential that we could see some bills come across that could bring about a change to the student loan process and things like that. There was a bill in there to automatically forgive $50,000 of student loan debt right off the top, and apparently that would do away with I think something like 63%, 64%
I'm about to
of
say, yeah.
individuals.
A lot of people not taking out a lot of big loans. It's just a lot of loans just hanging over their head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what it is. Like
accruing interest.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
man.
There is the potential we could see some changes come if Warnock and Ossoff get elected to the Senate. So I'm hoping that happens. I think that it's possible.
Well, I think they're helping I think they're helping their case. Like they're really, their silence is key right now because Loeffler, is that her name?
Yeah.
Kelly? She's really digging
crazy.
the whole. And did you see Nikki Haley campaigning for her?
Yeah,
today?
of course.
That's crazy.
See, and Nikki Haley, I'm not going to say that I was a huge fan of Nikki Haley, but I was never like, I didn't dislike her.
Yeah.
I always thought, okay, she has the potential of being a good governor. I know she made a ton of money when she was on the board at Lexington Medical Center, and I know that she took advantage of a lot of, there's a lot of money.
I think they said she took $16,000 on the curtains.
Oh, yeah.
In the governor's
Her office. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
$16,000 on curtains,
I mean,
bro. That's crazy.
It's insane. But they under her governorship, we did see the removal of the Confederate flag from the State House grounds.
Well, somebody had to climb up there first. I want to get her name. Oh man, I want to get her name first. Keep talking.
But you're exactly right. It took literally someone going up there to actually start the whole conversation about it. And but under her governorship, I'm not saying she did the work. The legislature had to do all the voting and whatnot, but at least it happened under her governorship. A Republican woman governor of South Carolina was able to get the Confederate flag removed and put down in the war room or whatever down at the State House or State Museum.
Her name is Bree Newsom.
Bree Newsom. She's the one that climbed the flagpole.
Yes.
And brought the flag down.
She is an American hero. She is an American. She is an American hero.
I agree.
She is, bro.
Oh, man, I keep cutting you.
You good. I just wanted to make sure I said that, man, because
I remember.
I wanted to do that, bro. You know how many times I want to get up on these flag poles and take down these Trump
Do you
flags?
think you can
Oh,
scale
my
it?
God.
Right,
You
bro.
think
It's
you
a lot
scale
of
the
flags
pole?
I gotta skirt.
Every
You
time.
think you scale the pole, bro?
Man, she had help, man. I ain't gonna lie though. She did have like somebody spotting
Should be
her.
halfway. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point.
I would have got up there and got a lighter and just been like,
Oh, that would have been.
yeah,
That
would
would've
have
been a
really.
sight.
Oh, that would have been a painting.
That would've been a sight.
They were gonna throw you away, boy.
I needed it.
That's what. They're gonna get you for destroying a historical artifact.
But to be honest with you,
Whatever.
now, like you said, it's bad now because Trump just signed it into office that if you do something like that, you can get like 10 years minimum.
Here's the craziest thing. I get that Trump is going to try and side with all these idiots that think the Confederate flag has any meaning. First of all, the Confederate flag that people see flying with the cross and the lights or the stars and whatnot.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the Confederate flag. That was the flag for a particular brigade of the Virginia Army. And also the one that they use is I think it's the naval flag, like the Confederate naval flag. So it has nothing. It has no actual substance or value, but that's the one that people recognize, and they're like, oh, that's the one. That's our heritage.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It's a lot of heritage behind that flag.
Do you believe people actually believe that? Like,
I think they
do.
do. Oh, no. I disagree. I think they actually believe that is their heritage, but that is because they're not intelligent enough to look and find out where they're from.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying no, because I'm like, some of these people don't. Your parents probably were fighting for the other side, and you just don't even know.
So it's kind of playing the same role in your eyes. It's kind of playing the same role as the what's it called, the MAGA hat?
MAGA hat.
Oh yeah,
MAGA hat.
Yeah, you don't even know what you're doing.
They know it gives them power over people that don't like that.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like those kids that was that guy that got all that money off of the Native American when he was beating the drum in front of them, and they were like all wearing the MAGA hats because they were there for a school trip or something.
Yep.
Like they wore those hats because they knew
it was intimidating.
Yep. Like it wasn't just because we support Trump. I'm wearing something because I know a certain people don't like this, and I don't like those certain people.
Most of those kids couldn't even vote anyway. Like they were all too young to vote, but they were standing up there.
But the crazy thing is, Barry, that's who's gonna be voting next, and that's the crazy. That's what we gotta fix.
You know what?
Because that's the most important.
How can we fix that? My bad.
No. I was just gonna say Chad, Timmy, Don, Frank, Michael.
Yeah.
All of them were there for their choral festival or something, and they. How do you
You're
fix
right.
that? How do you fix that? Education, real historic education.
But are they not corrupt already?
But the education
doesn't-
even the education part. When you say that, Barrett, it's like you go to school. And then
I know.
you go to school and you take these certain classes. Maybe you have to take like African studies or something like that to understand what's going on. But then you got these fraternities that's really teaching the opposite. They're like you get to college for the education, but then you go backwards when you get to college because it's like, hey, you're thinking forward, but we want you to think backwards a little bit when you think forward too, because
think
you need
about
to know
the history. Yeah,
think about your history. Think about the people that came before you.
And one of the things that really bugs me about fraternities and things like that is that, there are fraternities that are white, there are fraternities that are black, and there is some crossover. Sometimes you'll see a black kid in a white fraternity and vice versa. And
Joe Button's podcast has a white Kappa. His name is Rory, and
So-
it's not a lot of white Kappas.
Of course, but even at the
Which is kinda
historically
crazy.
black college and universities, I mean, you have these HBCUs that it is not as easy for white kids to get into those schools.
100%.
But I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary for some white kid to be like, I need to go to that school.
Or if they want to, I don't have no problem with them going.
As long as they meet the criteria in order to get in that school.
Yes.
But I feel like that there are historically white colleges that because they have always gone that direction, those are the universities and colleges that need to be held to the standards of,
But they call them prestige colleges.
So what?
But that's what I'm saying. Like
show me
the
their football record.
HBCUs, some of them, like Howard, I feel like could be prestige if we're going to use that title on it. You get what I'm saying? Just because it's an all white doesn't mean it's prestige. It's just because of the history behind it.
Agreed.
And how much money people pay to go to some of these colleges like Yale or Harvard or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, one of the greatest things that happened this week and brought tears to my eye was Major League Baseball deeming that every single one of the players that played in the Negro Leagues is now considered a Major League Baseball. That gives me chills.
But I can't lie. It gives me chills.
Look, do you see it?
It gives me chills, but why did it take till 2020?
I don't disagree.
yeah.
I don't disagree
That's
with that.
ridiculous.
Like, well, let's just add to this all the
historical
things happening this year.
I totally agree with that.
The pandemic sped up so much stuff.
Oh, I agree. I totally
so much
agree.
stuff.
Gift and a curse.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gift and a curse.
100%.
I speaking of the pandemic, and we'll just talk about this real quick before we go to a break. But so the UK has identified a new COVID strain that spreads more quickly than the strain that is infecting people now here in the United States.
Evolving.
Yeah. So England's top medical officers on Saturday announced that the UK has identified a new variant of the coronavirus that can spread more quickly than prior strains of the virus, leading Prime Minister Boris Johnson to impose fresh restrictions on parts of the nation to control its spread. He said, quote, we're learning about it as we go, but we already know enough, more than we knew before. He said, to be sure that we must act now. He said that briefing on Saturday where they laid out fresh restrictions on London and other parts of England ahead of the Christmas holiday. Says that when the virus changed its method of attack, we had to change our method of defense. So the UK currently is seeing somewhere in the 24,000 a day range, which is that's less than ours because we're seeing something in the 65,
for the whole UK,
75.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's the whole UK. You're talking about a population of 25 million. But the UK did roll out the Pfizer vaccine about 2 or 3 days earlier than the United States.
Did you see the couple videos of the people getting?
Are you?
Here we go. Suspicious videos.
Come on, Barry. You seen that one?
So
I know you had to see it, Barry. You're not about to. You had to see how
He was like,
yeah, like that. I don't think that one went in, man.
he didn't press it. He didn't press it.
I don't think he did either, though. But it was a little sketchy. And then I seen Mike Pence get his, and he had a better actor. You get what I'm saying?
You don't think these people are getting some of these people are getting this vaccine?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it might. Remember back in the day whenever we used to have those dolls that used to have like the act like you're getting
The plunger
shot,
with
and
the-
the actual
yeah.
and it actually did this whenever you actually did
Sure,
a shot.
sure.
I think that's what they're doing, bro. I think they're getting.
Oh, it's not really going in?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like pushing back into it.
They gotta think we are some idiots to do that on TV.
To do it,
that on the
that's what I'm
camera.
saying, bro.
So you don't think Mike Pence got Mike Pence is literally the only person in all of the Trump administration in the White House on a daily basis that has not been like his wife. I think
he's
his
the only
wife
one that
got
didn't
it.
catch it.
Yeah, he hasn't.
You know
caught
why,
it.
right? 'Cause he has that guardian angel on his head.
Yeah.
That little fly.
That fly. Hey, you need to get out of here soon.
You need to get out of here.
It's spreading.
Oh my god.
Run!
That's what he said. That's what the fly
funny.
said at the debate. I'm gonna
That's
stay here
funny.
as long as I can, but
I can't keep this up for
Speaking
very
of
long.
the debate, man, do you think the election would have went different if we had another debate between Biden?
I don't think so.
I think it was kind of solid.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but that's what I'm saying. It was good TV.
It was man.
It was good.
Let me tell you that because we talked about it. We did a show before the debate, and one of the things that I don't remember if I said this or not, but I didn't want to watch the debate, but I knew I was probably going to.
You're just gonna have to watch it.
The reason I didn't want to watch it was because I knew I was not going to be able to sleep that night. I knew I was going to be pissed off about the fact that one, there's no way they can't keep him under control.
Yeah.
And I was completely right. Like Chris Wallace is genuinely, I think he's a good news anchor. I think that he potentially would have been the one that you would have wanted to try and control Trump and Biden. I mean, both of them talked over
But he
each
kind of
other.
respects Chris Wallace, so that's probably the reason why they picked him.
I would have thought, yes, I would have thought he was going to respect him, but then it's Trump. He, if you don't do his bidding, or you don't do exactly what he wants, or what you don't say what he wants you to say, then you fall out of grace, and then you're just some shitty reporter or whatever that he's going to claim that you're part of the left wing media that's basically there to make him look bad.
They should, for the debates, they should actually get somebody that doesn't have to call him Mr. President.
I wouldn't.
You get what I'm saying? Like somebody from another country, or
Oh,
you get what
yes.
I'm saying? Like
Well-
to ask him the tough questions, because then you're like, you don't talk to your president like that. Like, okay, you're not my president, so I'm asking you this question,
That's
and you're
valid.
gonna answer.
That's
you get what
valid.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd have gone along with that.
Yeah.
Well, you're in my country. I'm
But
the
it-
leader here.
But it couldn't have been one of those countries where Trump's probably going to wind up like
Living?
exiling himself
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
it couldn't have been Saudi Arabia. It couldn't have been like Norway, I guess. Where else? Okay, before we go to break, list at least a couple of the countries that you think that Trump potentially could exile himself to, because you've heard that the residents that live around Mar-a-Lago don't want him living there.
No.
He's gonna go to Weinstein's island.
Epstein's.
I mean Epstein.
Epstein's
I said
island?
Weinstein.
No, he's going straight to Russia.
I think you're right, though. Weinstein could be on the list of guys that he'd been like, he's a very good guy. It's a very good guy. Wrongly accused of
He's going to Russia,
Russia. All right.
Germany.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is
I
he
don't know
going? Do you think
Maybe.
he's going with Ivanka, or you think he's gonna do his own?
Oh,
thing?
no. I think she's
Nah.
leaving him.
Yeah, she's definitely
She's like, you
leaving.
go to Russia, I'll stay here.
Don't be surprised if Ivanka leaves Donald for Tom Brady.
Ooh. His daughter's going to leave him
Yeah.
for
I say Ivanka, man, not Ivanka. His wife,
Melania. Yeah.
Melania.
Melania.
I
Oh,
think
man.
I think the divorce is already in the process.
Really?
I mean, there've been rumors that she already has employed a divorce lawyer. She had before she even moved into the White House, she had their the agreement, their marriage agreement. They had all that reworked to make sure that Barron Trump was going to be included in any of the financial stuff that Trump has when it comes to like his death or whatever, like to make sure that Barron was included in the same level of money and property as Ivanka and Don Jr. and Eric. So yeah, I guarantee that I believe that she is. I mean, there's too much reason for her to leave.
Could you imagine if you was her lawyer Melania's lawyer, like they're probably sitting back like, ooh, January the 20th, we coming for that pot, baby.
Could you imagine? I mean, especially now that you're finding out that he's got something like $600 million
Yeah.
that Jared Kushner put together this whole slush fund for. Like he greenlit this whole side company to take all of the money that's been pouring in from people trying to support his
But they're not pouring in,
overturn
Barry.
election.
I was at my job.
Uh-oh.
I was at my job. Okay?
Here it is.
I don't even know I'm supposed to tell this, but I answer the phones, okay?
Sure.
So somebody called and was like, "Hey, we want you to donate to the Donald Trump cause."
Sure.
Basically, or the RNC. And I was like, and that was after I had sent y'all that post.
Yeah,
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, this is how he's getting the money for everything. Like, they're actually people not calling in. He's actually calling people, and people are actually donating to this telemarketer, like a real live scam that they're like, yo, I don't care if I'm getting scammed or not. I'm voting for.
I'm supporting this call.
I'm supporting
That
this.
is insane.
That's crazy.
I don't get it.
That's why I said
Get my debit card.
That's why I said his son needs to be on that list.
Sure.
Because he probably some of that money's going to his son, like you said, and he needs to pardon his son from not receiving that money.
Trump is the grifter in chief is what he is. Basically, he is a grifter. He is pushing for this idea that they can overturn the election, even up until like the very last day.
Yeah.
He is going to continue to push and push and push because it's bringing money in from all of these people that think that they are providing money to continue his lawful way of overturning the election.
Well, still to this day, Kelly Loeffler has yet to say that
she won't.
She thinks Donald Trump is not the president right now.
She won't have to.
She won't say it. Like,
yeah, she won't have to.
That's crazy.
Because Warnock and Ossoff are going to beat them.
Yes.
Man, I hope.
Oh man, that's gonna be a great day in Georgia.
I have done some phone
I'm
banking.
going to Magic City, baby. If that happens,
I have donated money, like all of the money that I made from doing the election.
Yeah.
So the money that Lexington County paid me, I turned that money all over. I
Wow.
took every bit of it and gave it to Ossoff and Warnock.
Wow.
So that's
respect. Respect that.
I want to see the Senate even.
Yeah.
Not necessarily even. I want to see the Senate even with Kamala Harris being the president over the Senate
and
then
able
being
to do what they say they want to do, like,
Exactly.
and not have no backpedals. Like right now, like for them to say that they'll give people this $600 now. With
Yeah,
this,
we'll talk
like,
about
it's
that.
a slap in the face, but we'll get like you said, we'll talk about that later.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We will come back here in just a couple minutes, and you're listening to the All About Nothing podcast. We have Nique the Geek, Trent Clark here, Zach King again out. We're going to leave that as a cliffhanger for when we do our last episode next week.
You're making me feel all right.
I want to take a quick moment to mention one of our new sponsors, thepaintedmoment.com. That's thepaintedmoment.com. Check this out. Have you ever taken a photo with your phone or digital camera that would look amazing as a watercolor canvas painting? Well, now there's a website ready to take your photo and turn it into digital painted moments. This is how it works. Visit thepaintedmoment.com, follow the instructions, and your digital photo will be enhanced and returned to you with links on where you can have an image printed to canvas or whatever else you'd like to do with it. We've already got a couple of these enhanced photos hanging around the house, and trust me, you'll love what comes out. Thepaintedmoment.com. Create a painted moment in time from your digital photos. Thepaintedmoment.com. Seriously, check them out today. Thepaintedmoment.com.
I see you never close the room. You know that I'm looking for you. In that dress, you know what to do. Baby, got me feeling you. Baby, got me feeling alright. Late at night by your bedside. Baby, got me feeling
Too good.
Don't let me stifle your talent.
Oh no.
Do not let that happen.
What I'm doing is I know 2021 right now is kind of like slow, so I can like take my time. I don't feel rushed whenever I do.
Sure.
So when Nique gets time and whenever I get time to come up here, I just want to do it my own time. I don't want to be like, yo, Nique, I need you to. You get what I'm saying? I want it to be like,
That's exciting.
yeah. Getting back into the hang of
we
it.
got history behind the mic.
Nice.
Oh, yeah,
Me
way
and
behind.
Trent, man.
It's crazy.
Every Sunday, man, he used to drive me to this studio in bumfuck nowhere.
And it's back. It's coming full circle now because now we're doing stuff again on Sundays.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
We used to go there. We used to have this CD of beats and drive for like an hour and just make songs in the car, then go there and record them all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Then we used to come back and all the songs would be changed, but that's a
Oh
different
man,
story.
they would
The mixing,
put their kids on the song.
yeah, the mixing and the audio was all different. We
Oh,
like,
it's
hold
so
on, this
distorted.
was not what it started like.
And I got that little program, and then we never went back, man.
Never
We
went
recorded
back.
everything on that computer.
We did
That's awesome. That's awesome.
because we were determined that we was gonna be control of our own sound. And to be honest with you, that's what I feel like Nique. I don't feel like Nique should ever sign to anybody. To be honest with you, you should definitely own your own masters.
Always produce your own masters.
Always, never. If you do sign, make it a 25% partnership, and you have 75%, because really and truly, you don't need them. They need you more than you get what I'm saying.
Really and truly. I'm playing.
Really and truly.
That's awesome, right?
Damn. Now you can do an ad right there if y'all want to. Y'all can pay us for that or not. You get what I'm saying? So,
All right.
all right, we ready?
Yep. All right. All right. Welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. We got Trent Clark, Nique the Geek, Dominique Stewart, our engineer and producer, and we are coming to you recorded live from the GOT Sounds Studio here in Columbia, South Carolina. I don't think I actually said that when we started, but I guess the intro music said that
It's
for
gonna
us.
say it for
Yeah.
us.
So,
Records it live.
but I want to make sure that we do say it enough so that people know that if they want to get their recording done, if they want to come in to do any sort of recording, music recording, anything like that,
Mixing, mastering.
podcast.
If you want to send any audio to be mixed or mastered, if you want to do podcasts, I'm starting to invest a lot more into the podcast side of
Sure.
things. So if you just want to come in here and just sit down with
Eventually
some friends,
we're gonna have to start paying them for this time.
Oh, I've already started.
We've already started.
Yeah, we've already started. Well, we won't have to talk about that.
Oh man.
We won't have to talk about it. You're giving so many gems like the stuff you did last week for them. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
without like small things, you don't even understand how big it's helping. You get
All
what I'm
right.
saying? So
All right. Well,
we got some work down. Me and Nique got some.
I just want to make sure that as a whole that we are investing in you, and you, Trent.
Yes.
I mean, I said you. I'm going to make sure I say Dominique.
Yeah.
We're investing in you, Dominique, because if I just point at you, this is audio, except for a camera up in the corner.
If you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're watching us up on YouTube, Dominique is sitting to my right. We got Trent sitting to my left. We are talking about this most recent week that we've all experienced, and the Christmas is coming up. I mean, we're gonna hit Christmas in 5 days.
5 days, man.
Do you
Hope you all got y'all PS5s.
it doesn't
Jeez.
even feel like Christmas in 5 days.
It doesn't, does it?
You want to know what? I think it does. This
Really?
year?
To you, maybe.
No, because
Look
you
at
gotta
him.
understand.
He got
I'm
his
not even
stimulus check
saying.
early.
I'm not saying it's because of that. I'm just saying in general. Usually December flies because
That's
I used to
true.
work retail.
Okay.
So December flies for me usually. Now
See,
that
it's
I'm
the
not in retail no more, I can actually see the stuff in the malls and stuff. And
It's
Sure.
the opposite for me. I worked at the bookstore, and right around this time, we would be waiting on book returns, and the nights
Yeah.
would be long. And,
Yeah. So yeah,
I can honestly say and this is going to be probably the whitest thing I've ever said, but I've never worked retail a day in my life.
I don't know if that's the whitest thing.
I worked
can
a lot of
see-
different places. I've been.
I'm
working
not saying
since I
that.
was young.
I'm not
No,
saying.
no.
I'm
just
not saying
saying
non-whites work retail. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
I think it was
Parents
more
like
on
the white people don't
know what?
sell.
You know what?
We
It's
buy.
We don't work. It's an illusion. We don't work. We make you feel comfortable about
We're like
working.
Congress. We take.
I deserve
We
that.
take
I
long
deserve that.
vacations instead of.
That one's on me. I'm going to take that. Yeah, it's the only thing I've ever done that came close to working retail was that I worked at a it was a oh my gosh, it was a Revco drugstore. And it was, it went from a Revco to it was a Big B drugstore. Went from Big B to Revco to a CVS. Now,
Boy, I know I'm young because I don't remember none of them stores.
yeah. Well, let me so the only reason I worked there was because a buddy of mine that I was in school with, his name was, I'm just gonna say his name was Fairchild.
Okay.
He talked me into working there because he said, hey, if you get a job there, we can hang out, like a couple nights a week. Now, I already had a job down in Decatur. I grew up in Decatur, Georgia, and over in off of La Vista, and then we grew up, and then we moved to Northlake Mall, Tucker area, and just outside Atlanta.
Yeah.
But this drugstore was really compact. It was inside of like a strip mall that had, I don't even, there may have been like a Sears liquidation center or something like in there. But but basically he talked me into applying for this job and then working there so that we could hang out more. And I was like, yeah, sure. I got time, whatever.
He was paying you to be his friend.
Well, essentially.
That sounds like what Nique was doing whenever he wanted me to work at Bojangles with him.
So here's what happened though. As soon as I started working there, he started getting more time off to go hang out with his girlfriend.
Sounds like Nique. Because Nique was doing more. What were you doing? You was doing more tours, I think. We were doing like college tours around that time, like going to PC and Clemson and stuff like that. So Nique got me to work there, and they're like, hey, we need you to work because Nique's not working this week. And I'm like, well, I'm his DJ, so I'm going to need to be off too. They're like, oh, you're his DJ? Yeah, so I'm going to need to be off. So.
Yeah, so essentially, after I figured out what was going on, I turned in my notice because I didn't need to work there. I was already delivering pizzas. I was delivering pizzas. I was interning in radio.
Okay.
So my schedule was pretty much full. But yeah, I felt I was like, oh, this dude wants to hang out with me. No, he didn't. He just wanted me to fill in so that he could get off.
Used you.
Crazy.
That's funny. That's why most people get their friends hired on the job. So they're like, yo, I can get some more time off if you here for
you know
me.
what though? I didn't know that. I never worked with anybody that I was friends with. Like I worked for my dad's print shop. I got a job myself delivering pizzas.
So did you and you or Zach brought each other in? Who bought?
No. We didn't know each other before we started working at
so you didn't.
that place. Yeah.
So
no, we didn't know each other.
We would have never had the All About Nothing podcast if Zach would have never.
Let me tell you,
there.
I'll be honest. I think.
I
wouldn't have been involved.
Yeah.
But I started. What was it? I guess 2017 when I started doing this podcast. It was basically just a monologue. If you ever go back and listen, avoid those shows.
I listened.
Yeah, it was a lot of monologue. I sometimes brought people on but
to break the ice.
Yeah, it was mostly just a monologue. And one of the guys at work was like, "Hey, you ought to talk to Zach. He's an atheist." And I was like, "That'd be an interesting conversation," because I didn't grow up religious.
I knew that about Zach.
Yeah, but I grew. First of all, why there's a name for somebody that doesn't believe in something is beyond me.
Yeah,
To label him.
You know,
yeah, it's all about
label.
labels. It's all about labels.
it's ridiculous.
Don't talk to him. He's an atheist.
Yeah. But but somebody came to me and was like, yeah, Zach does a podcast. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So Zach and I started talking, and then eventually I got him to come on the show, and then I got him to become a regular, and then he introduced me to Trent, and then we all know each other now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's come full circle.
It is.
And just wait till next week.
Oh, yeah. It's really going to come full circle.
Just wait till next week.
You don't understand. The story's next week.
Is that going to be? Well, there's going to be.
It's going to be very interesting.
Very.
Oh, goodness.
Very.
This does sound like it'll be fairly entertaining.
It might be.
I forgot to put a clock on us. Like,
Oh, man. Put a clock on next week.
yeah, we'll put a clock.
By the end of the second half, it should be 25 minutes because it's 11 minutes right now, and how they play it out.
Yeah, that's true.
He just lost the ball. Should be 25.
That's true. So basically, this show has come about over the course of the COVID period. Is
right.
It's progressed into what you're listening to now, and I think it's awesome. And one of the things, like I tell people about why I do this show, is especially during COVID and pandemic and the virus and everything, is it's mostly an opportunity for free therapy.
I'm
Exactly.
telling you.
I've never that's another reason why I want to invest a lot more in the podcast side of things here is because I did not appreciate podcasts until this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very therapeutic.
I've been watching a lot of Joe Budden podcasts and stuff like that, and different podcasts, and they will always say how therapeutic it was for them to meet up every week and do different
Just
shows.
talk to people.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
talk and get it out. And to be honest with you, me watching their podcast was therapeutic.
Oh, I'm sure.
So me doing one now is like I'm able to relieve some stress. Get what I'm
You
saying?
get to find out who you are, you
Yeah.
know, because you sit here and let people pick your brains for
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour or two. You
Yeah,
know?
let me know how you think. You get what I'm saying? So-
Well, and it gives, like my perspective, again, as a white guy
Yeah.
in his early 40s,
Mhm.
it gives me the ability to, meet and talk with you, Trent, and
Yep.
then bring Dominique in.
Yep.
And even Zach. Zach is 9 or 10 years younger than me. So there's there is getting viewpoints that are not mine and then, collectively getting to discuss things. It brings about, the idea I get to recognize what I wouldn't recognize
Yeah.
outside of this podcast.
100%. Like if it wasn't for Zach hitting me up during like you said, during the pandemic, it was like, hey man, got this podcast if you want to get on. And then after we did it, he sent me a text. He's like, hey man, you want to keep doing it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why not, man? I'm not doing anything else. You get what I'm saying? A lot of I DJ weddings usually and stuff like that, and a lot of that wasn't going on. So I knew I would mostly have Sundays off or
I feel like as
something to do.
I feel like as a DJ, this is beneficial to you. Too,
Oh,
as well.
very beneficial because I'm still being able to be in the light and have
I
people
mean-
see me
Yeah.
without and still promote myself. This is like self promo, if anything. So I appreciate you, Barrett.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying for even lending out the hand, and I appreciate Zach again because if he never came to
I'm doing a podcast.
and I appreciate Bill,
Checking
my
in on
neighbor,
you.
Bill checking
the
in on
neighbor.
me.
Hey, what do we call him? What's the dude from Home Improvement?
that
That
was
always shows his
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, it was
yes.
Wilson.
Bill is Wilson.
Hey, you want to? I'm getting my deck redone right now, and my girl sent me a picture of the
Oh, no.
guy
Oh,
that's
no.
doing the deck, looking over the fence, talking to Bill because Bill
Bill,
will not
yeah,
let anybody
being
do
nosy.
anything if he doesn't know what's going
Mr.
on.
Feeney.
Mr. Feeney.
He's everybody. He's TV's neighbor. That's what he is. He's TV's neighbor. All of the
great.
neighbors. Urkel, Mr. Feeney.
He is the funniest man.
Big
But look,
Wilson.
that man will do anything for my family, man. So
That's awesome.
you know what I'm saying? I never understood what people meant about having good neighbors. You get what I'm saying? I always felt like nosy neighbors were
yeah.
one thing.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like at first he was a nosy neighbor because he always wanted to know what's going on with me or asking questions, but he's generally just at the house by himself wondering what everybody else is doing. So
Yeah.
it's like I
Well,
can't blame him.
You gotta think, man. Like y'all both invested in property beside each other. It's not
Yeah.
like y'all renting a
Yeah.
home.
You're right.
That's true. Yeah.
He might become part of the family.
Basically.
That's possible.
He trying to take me out on the
Bill.
boat.
Oh,
Like, you're literally like trying to take me out on the boat
By
and-
yourself?
like
I do
Sopranos,
fishing.
like the Sopranos
And
take
just-
you out on a
I
boat.
I don't know how to swim, so I kind of
Oh,
looked at him
man.
like, I don't know about that, Bill. And you don't have a pontoon. I trust a pontoon.
Has he
more
ever
than I
been
trust
on
a
your
small-
side of the gate?
We got to teach you how to swim.
Has he? You say that one more time.
Has he ever been on your side of the gate?
He has. Yes.
Okay.
Whenever we done some work, he has been on my side of the gate.
All right.
But you got to understand his gate and my gate, like where he parks, he's technically on my land. How
Okay.
they built it.
Oh,
Sure.
That's why he's
I
giving you
see.
anything you need.
Yeah.
I see.
And so that's why we're kind of like building the new area.
Yeah.
So we can kind of like box him out a little bit
Oh,
because
man.
it feels like every time we're out there on our patio, he's like,
What you cooking? He's
they-
waiting for his
they
invite.
literally put a window in front of his house
Hey.
to look
You think? Listen,
in my backyard.
you think he wants to talk, but he's just waiting on his invite. Come over for a beer,
He
Bill.
can come on over, man, anytime. Anytime.
come out and
He
hang
told
out
me he
in the
dated a
he
black
shed.
girl before too.
Oh man, he told you that.
Oh my man,
Came
you,
up-
you
did
don't
it
understand
just,
the stories.
Did it naturally
man.
come up, or did he just out of nowhere?
Oh man,
I gotta-
We was talking about president. We was talking about it. Always starts about the president.
Oh, man.
He gets into how crazy he is and da da da.
Oh, he believes he's crazy.
Oh yeah, he's
Hey,
okay.
Bill is Bill told me he's like I don't see color.
That's what Stephen Colbert used to say.
I was talking about that the other week, man. Just like those white people that I'm sorry.
No, good.
Those
please.
white people that try to relate to black people just because they're around.
Yeah. So he tried to tell me he dated a black girl because I dated a
Yeah.
white girl. So he was like,
I get
don't
this
see
interracial
color.
thing.
Yeah, I don't
get
see
it.
color either. But I mean, I feel you. I understand.
That was one of those things Stephen Colbert used to say when he had the Colbert Report on Comedy Central. He would always say, "I don't see color. People tell me I'm white because I have all of this money." That was.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. He did bring me a watermelon
Oh no.
from
Oh man.
Hold on.
But look,
from
though,
where? From where?
from the farmer's market.
Do you like?
Oh my
watermelon?
god. So you,
I never
hold
told him.
Hold on.
I never told him I liked the watermelon.
I thought he he was growing watermelon in his backyard.
No.
He gave you a watermelon from a place with
But-
a lot of different things.
But look though, this
and thought
this-
about you. He was like, you know who's gonna like this watermelon? That black guy next door.
But look though, this is what happened. This is what happened. So I didn't feel offended because he didn't give me the whole watermelon.
Wait. Hold on.
So he was just being half racist.
He cut it in half and gave it to me. You get
He
what I'm
probably
saying?
thought about it
And
on the
put
way
in
home.
aluminum foil.
He's probably driving, looking at the watermelon. You know, this is kind of fucked up.
I already
cannot
promised.
let
I'm
him.
only
this.
give him half of this
I
racism.
cannot listen to that.
I already
Make him think I ate some of it.
I already called and promised him a watermelon. I'm gonna have to give him half. Yeah, that's.
You should have been like, I'm allergic, Bill.
I
No,
do,
I'm
man.
allergic.
but see, that's one of those. That's one of those things.
I couldn't be like, yo, I mean, because a lot of people like watermelon. So I'm like, he probably just assumed I like watermelon.
Well, if his next gift is Kool-Aid, man, you need to be like,
Oh
Oh no.
no, I've heard about his
next-
Kool-Aid.
His next gift
oh,
was
nah, you
Oh,
know.
it was your Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It was your Kool-Aid.
yeah. His next gift was actually he bought Rio when Rio was in the hospital. He
Okay.
bought him 3 trucks.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And Barrett also got a gift from him and his mom. And
Yeah, my
I
mom.
also want to thank his mom for doing that because she didn't have to, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
But that's why I'm saying it's kind of genuine. It's kind of like you said, certain people don't know they're being a little bit racist, but it's just sometimes they just like dumbfounded. It's like
when I can tell that it's genuinely ignorance, when
Yeah.
I can tell that they genuinely don't know what it is they've said or what they've done, I don't have any
I don't
issue.
get
I
with it.
mad.
think
I
he
don't get
just
mad.
went to stereotypes just to figure out what you might like.
Potentially.
Yeah, he was like, all right, what? I don't know what
It's-
kind of fruit he likes. I'm going to play it safe this time. It was either that or bananas. So
It can't-
be lucky you get the
Man.
watermelon.
Come on, Nick, don't do Bill like that. Don't do Bill.
See, I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
like cantaloupe or a honeydew
Or some
or a
grapes,
watermelon.
God damn it. Some damn grapes.
Oh my god!
Oh, man.
Everybody likes grapes, Bill.
Buy him a smoothie next time, Bill. Put all the fruits in there.
Just brings a
Play it safe.
cornucopia of just like tons of fruit,
Just want to let you know
oranges,
there is watermelon,
lime.
there's strawberries, kiwi.
So I got it all.
You know, you eat around the racist parts. I'll do fruitcake next time.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh,
You're going crazy. Chill, man.
I just want to point out, we were using the clock on the
I
Kansas
know.
City New
And it was
England
11
game.
minutes,
It was
right?
11 minutes,
And now
it's
it's
now
10,
it's like 10 and a half.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's one of those things I think I've said before is like, I don't understand why some things are considered stereotypes. Like, why watermelons? Why fried chicken? I'm not a huge fan of watermelon,
Yeah.
which, I don't know if that's a stereotype or not.
But most of the white people eat the fried chicken and the
Let
watermelon.
me tell you
Let me
why
tell you
fried
this.
chicken is a stereotype.
Here we go.
Because, well, this is what I heard. So chicken was one of those meats
It's
that
like chitlins.
It was a
were
cheap.
affordable.
Okay.
And so, black people bought it because,
It's affordable.
it was
Everybody
affordable.
can have a chicken.
So, They just cook their ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Cooked it
where
a
the
little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where the chicken came from. The watermelon, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get watermelon.
I guess, you know, we like as slaves, you had to grow your own crops and you can grow fruits and
And they didn't give them water whenever it was picking cotton, so they had to have their own water from somewhere. So
man, you
maybe
think just because of the
don't know.
name watermelon.
hey man,
we
it's
grow
water in
watermelon.
watermelon.
It's water in a lot of different things.
Yeah, but white people drink a lot of coconut water.
yeah,
You're right. You're right. But it wasn't no coconuts in the South.
Are we sure? I think we
Yeah, I
might.
don't
We,
know
might-
about
we
that.
might want to fact check that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were growing coconuts back then.
Well, I don't know.
What you
I didn't
mean
hear
back
about
I
then?
don't know. If
But I'm saying like in South Carolina, you didn't see no
You
damn
talking about
coconuts.
wasn't no water, man? We
I'm gonna
grew
be-
rice here. You know how much water you gotta have to grow rice?
tobacco, rice.
I'm not saying the water. I'm just saying in general, like the actual crop. Like I don't think coconut was a big thing in South Carolina. Is what I'm saying.
I'm 100%. I believe you're correct.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe that was. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone ever looked at like a beach and was like, "Oh, look at those line of trees with those things hanging down. I'm going to turn that into a crop."
Yeah, like Corona. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I like I said, it's just one of those things. I never understood why things got classified as stereotypes for this race or for that race or whatever. Like
It's
it
like
just didn't make any
braids.
You
sense.
should Google it.
What?
Why
you know, the
stereotypes or
origin of those
stereotypes?
Stereotypes.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can
That'll be your assignment.
you might
for-
get some answers next week.
That'll be your assignment for season 5. Oh man, see, I don't know who this
Google
is
right now.
I don't know who this is that we're having on next week, but I hear that it's going to
He's
be
just-
an interesting conversation.
Listen, no disrespect to him. 'Cause,
Most
you know what I'm
interesting
saying?
man
I'm not saying anything against his
Of
character.
the
He
decade.
he is a man that can talk.
Okay,
He is a talker.
fair enough.
You know, he will probably lead this podcast next week. He'll probably
He might. He might
he'll
not.
probably lead it.
He might not. He
He's
might
a
come in.
talker.
He might come in humble, and if he does,
I mean, it's not like he just he would call himself. Because I don't want to.
yeah,
Sure.
we're not.
I haven't seen him
in.
in a while, so I don't want to say label
course,
him.
of course.
But by knowing him, I feel like he would label himself insightful. So he talked.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
would.
So
I would. I would label him that. He's
You know what I'm
very
saying?
like
Yeah.
he's taught me a lot
He's
over the
informative.
years.
You know what I'm saying? So he talks and talks and talks.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm
No,
just
no, no.
saying that.
No. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
No. That's
So you're asking me to say it's coconuts in the South?
no,
Just say the origin of black stereotypes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and generalize everything and see what comes up first.
Donate to the Make America
Oh
Great.
God!
Oh, yeah, that's that potentially is hey, we were talking about the stimulus package earlier.
Yes, let's get into that.
Briefly. So this is as of yesterday, and they were hoping to get all this done today. I haven't seen where that's been released as of the recording of the show, but Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Pat Toomey, Republican from Pennsylvania, were finishing details on a compromise Saturday night. Under the deal, the central bank would retain its ability to set up emergency lending programs without congressional approval. But essentially, the idea is that there will be a stimulus package likely signed by the president potentially on Monday. That will bring, and this sounds menial, but or less than necessary, or less than what's necessary, but potentially $600 for every American citizen in the country. So if you are married, you know, a married couple making less than $150,000, you'll get $600 a piece, and then that will translate to also $600 per kid. So a family with 3 kids, husband and wife, that's $3,000. That comes in $900 less than what was given in
First time.
what was given in April.
So did they think like rent went down or something?
I don't know. I honestly, I have
I'm
no
trying to
idea what they're
understand
thinking.
what's going on?
Where I cannot understand. Like,
I think they're looking at people spending money on dumb stuff, and that's like helping them determine how much money they need to give people. They're like, yo, we got people spending money on PS5s, Gucci belts.
honestly,
and
though,
dumb
that's what
stuff
they
like
want them to
this.
do. That's
Yeah.
what they want people to do with this. They don't want them to save it. They don't want them to throw it into the bank and just hold on to it. Go for
All
it.
right.
You found it.
Yeah. So watermelon is is symbolized as self-sufficiency.
Okay.
So following the emancipation, South African Americans grew and sold watermelons. It became a symbol of freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can go along with that.
Okay.
As long as it's a sense of pride.
Yeah.
But then, like, if someone were to come along and be like, "Oh, he just eats watermelons," I like not knowing that's the history behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if Bill dug that deep then. He was like,
I
here, man,
mean-
here's some freedom.
Here's some freedom.
Now let me stop.
Here's some half of freedom. Chill out, me.
Half of your freedom. Oh, okay. Now I get why I gave you
You
half.
only got half.
Because you got your baby's mother
Oh man.
that is not African American, and then you got you. So here's your freedom.
And not hers.
Hers always been
She
there.
already had hers. That's funny. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Chill out.
Bill's a good dude.
Bill is.
I
Bill
get
is
the
a great
impression
dude.
Bill
But
is a
yeah,
good guy.
all right. So yeah, most of the
That's,
stereotypes did come from says scientific racism, and
Okay.
it said their personal hood, like the legal challenges they had. So
Okay.
like I said, they couldn't afford certain things, so they bought affordable things.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I love fried chicken. I'm just gonna,
I love fried
I'm
chicken.
gonna put that out there. I love fried chicken.
But air fried chicken is way better.
oh, really?
I've actually exhausted that. Like, I'm not a fan of air fried things anymore. I
When-
went too ham during quarantine.
Well, hold on. When you do your air fried chicken,
Mhm.
is it breaded, or is it just fried? Air fried.
You just
doesn't
put
bread.
just put a little grease in there.
Yeah, he doesn't bread it.
Okay.
Breading stuff and air frying it, like if you can do that, I still consider you a cook. But if you just air frying stuff, you're not a cook.
No.
I
But
can.
if you can
I can fry some
successfully-
chicken.
Yeah, if you can successfully bread something in the air fryer,
Yeah.
respect.
Or if you can successfully fry some stuff in regular grease, like
I can do that.
that's
I
still
can
a
do
cook.
that.
You get what I'm
Bojangles,
saying?
man.
Yeah, same.
Word. Nice.
Bojangles taught me everything. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? What is it?
When that chicken
Tumble,
floats,
dust, dip, tumble,
Tumble,
dust, dust.
and then put it on the tray.
You can never go wrong with that. You got your dry, you wet, you dry.
Yep. You got 2 layers.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's good to know. I like to triple layer it a little bit, but
Oh man, so you're a fan of the skin, really?
Oh, you
Oh.
like skin.
Yes.
and it's got to be crunchy.
Yes.
I want a crunchy skin. Even if I want the option of not eating the skin, like the skin is an extra is
you
a
save
side.
it.
It's a side
Who
item.
did that? Who's Captain
KFC
D's?
does a
They sell like a bag of their skins.
Oh, yeah.
called
Oh.
Crackles or
Say
whatnot.
Captain D's?
yeah, but it's the
I've
fish.
never
It's the
ate-
fish.
Yeah, I've
Fish
never ate
skins.
Captain D's.
They take and they skim off all the stuff that fell
All
off
the
the fish.
skin,
God.
the skin crumbs.
The only issue I have with Captain D's, and it's not that it's bad, it's that if you order 2 fish fillet, you get 2 fish fillet fried pieces of fish that look like they're about the size of your palm, but if you tear into it and you get to the fish, it's like a quarter of the size of your hand.
my God.
It's tiny amount of fish. It's mostly bread.
Well, the good thing about that is it's probably not imitation fish.
So basically,
Probably
you're saying-
not.
Yeah, because
Probably not.
It's so small.
So tartar sauce or
Neither.
okay, here we go.
Mustard, sir.
You put mustard on your
On
fried
fish.
fish.
Oh my God.
I put hot sauce on
Mustard
everything.
and bread.
Yeah, I do like fried
That's
fish.
all
Hey,
you
I'm like
need.
that. I'm like that
Mustard and
woman
bread.
off that Frank's commercial. I put that on everything.
I didn't bring any in my bag because
okay.
I'm not Hillary Clinton. But
Okay.
Can I bleep that? Like the part right there.
yeah, if you like.
If you want to. That's up to you.
I do like Tabasco sauce on pizza. I like Red Hot or
I like
Louisiana
ranch
hot sauce
on pizza.
on. Oh, ranch is good on
Oh
pizza.
my God. I started that at high school.
Okay,
Yeah, high school.
with the square pizza.
No. This was
Did y'all have square pizza in high
No,
school?
we-
Yeah, we did.
No,
we
we
did.
didn't.
Okay.
Yes, we did. It
That was my
breakfast
favorite
pizza.
thing.
Oh no,
was
yeah,
breakfast
yeah.
pizza.
The break I
not the
never
same.
touched the
Yeah.
breakfast pizza.
It's not the
It
same.
was-
Yeah,
the
the breakfast
the cheese
that's like fake sauces
Yeah,
and stuff
the
like
fake
that.
sausage, the cheese looked clearish gray.
You never trust that.
It was
pizza,
cold.
bro.
Why was
Yeah.
it cold?
Yeah.
That was the first thing you cooked when you came to school.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Thursdays in DeKalb County Public School, I think it was Thursday, was the square pizza day. And like you could go through the line and you could get an extra piece of pizza if you were in the 3rd or 4th lunch because they had to make sure there was enough for all 4 lunch periods.
okay.
We didn't have square pizza, but we did do pizza on Thursdays.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
We had Chick-fil-A would show up on some days of the week and
Oh,
sell
man,
right
we
outside.
had Clucks Deluxe.
Yeah, close the luck, baby.
That was Chick-fil-A's off-brand.
Yeah, and they sucked. They suck.
Clucks Deluxe. Hey,
But the spicy though was good.
Listen,
though. The
eating them
spicy
at
Clucks
school
Deluxe.
made it taste like Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you dip it in honey mustard sauce,
we had people in there that would steal the Clucks Deluxe and like trap them through the lunch hallways. Yeah,
Give 'em the
Clucks
people-
Deluxe for $1, bro.
give them to people in ISS. Oh, if you come to ISS
Clucks
and you got
Deluxe,
Clucks
bro.
Deluxe,
Oh my
you might
God.
make at least
One of my
$10.
homeboys used to be, hey, stand right here, Nique. And just steal all the Clucks Deluxe and jump out of line.
That's hilarious.
The lady be like, "What you doing, baby?" Oh, I'm just coming through.
Hey.
I'm just coming through. That's
Man.
funny.
Well, that's it doesn't really translate or segue into the next thing I was going to mention. So y'all heard we got hacked, right? Did y'all hear
Yes, a big
Russia hacked the United States government. Basically, many segments of the American government, including our nuclear power, our strategic missile defense, apparently also got hacked. Doesn't mean that they got away with anything, but systems got locked down and in place and whatnot. But apparently, Mike Pompeo yesterday, the Secretary of State, did acknowledge that it was Russia that did this hacking. He says that let's see, they're saying that we're still unpacking precisely what it is, and I'm sure that a lot of it will remain classified. But suffice it to say, there was a significant effort to use a piece of third-party software to essentially embed code inside the United States government system, and now it appears the systems of private companies and governments across the world as well. So the United States wasn't the only one. But immediately, President Trump comes out, and first he was slow to say anything. First, he didn't want to say anything about that it was the Russians that were involved. But apparently, as of this morning, he said that it wasn't Russia. He said he believes that Pompeo is wrong.
This man I told you, man, he's going to
That's
Russia.
where he's going.
I'm
sounds
telling
like
you,
it, right?
bro,
Yeah.
he's not. He knows Russia will not. They'll do him like Snowden.
I could see that.
They'll do him just like what's his name, Eric Snowden. He's gonna get to Russia, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, we want President Trump to come back over," and they're gonna be like, "Well, we're not sending them over." So
I don't
do
think,
whatever you want.
but you know what? Any of these countries that Trump goes to, what's the purpose? Like, what does the country have to gain by allowing Trump to come to their country? Like, if he's no longer the president, and there's the potential that if he runs off to another country, they will hold a trial with him in exile, and without him to come back and defend himself or have somebody defend himself, they find him guilty. At that point, once he leaves the country, he doesn't have access to any of the information that he potentially could have provided to some foreign government.
Yeah.
In fact, Biden's already said that there's the potential that he doesn't see a purpose.
Well, he's already, like you just said, they just hacked the government.
Yeah.
You don't think he gave him the key before he left? It's like,
It's
yo,
potential.
Here's the password.
I'm telling you, here's the password. Get everything you need before I get out of here, and we'll just say we don't know who did it.
Right. Well, Trump's tweet was, Russia, Russia, Russia is the priority chant when anything happens because lamestream is, for most financial systems, petrified of discussing the possibility that it may be China. In quote, it may, exclamation mark, end quote.
So what he's saying is China used
He's
a
trying to put it off
IP
on
code
China.
of Russia to hack somebody.
It's amazing to me, this idea that how intelligent these hackers are in these other countries, like because I mean China has like a whole farm of hackers. Russia has companies inside Russia that like the government literally backs that does nothing but hack other countries. Turkey's got them. Saudi Arabia has them.
Yeah.
North Korea has an unbelievable number of people that are trained to do nothing but hack. It's great. Like, what are we doing?
How do you put
Are
that
we
on your
doing
job
this?
application?
We're arresting the hackers, and then when we need them, we'll be like, hey,
Yeah, can
we'll
you?
let you out if you do this for us.
Because
It's just like the Suicide Squad.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we'll lock you up,
We'll,
but when
we'll
we
detain
need
you, but when we
come on
need
through.
you, we'll let's make a deal.
yeah,
Hold on, is this
We'll
the
give you-
Suicide Squad with Will Smith? As,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
All right, I can go with that.
Yeah,
I can go with that.
basically, if they needed them, they locked them up. You get what I'm saying? Oh, now we need you to save the world, so come on through, help us out. We'll take 10 years off your life term.
But you know what's crazy? Those hackers still aren't as good as the hackers that get to do that every day.
I know.
Like
I know.
technology moved too fast to lock somebody up for a few years, and then
they
expect
forget.
them to be in here hacking.
it's hard to it's hard to fathom that any country would invest so much money in just the idea that they're just constantly going to be berating other countries with hackers to try and.
Hey, well, when you don't have the big stick, you gotta.
I guess
When you don't have the bronze, you gotta do the brain. Use the
Right.
brains.
And everybody wants to be where the United States is right now. So
yeah.
They want
they'll
the big
do
stick.
anything.
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
it's we're going to see where this goes, but apparently Trump is denying that it was Russia. Pompeo, now Secretary of State, has said that it was Russia, and we'll see how long it is before Mike Pompeo becomes the William Barr of the Secretary of the State Department, where Trump's going to say, he's decided to go spend more time with his family for Christmas, because that's when. The first thing I thought when when Trump came out and said that William Barr or Bill Barr was going to be spending more time with his family for Christmas, have these people never heard of a vacation? Like, why can't he just take a break, spend some time with family, come back to work for another 24 days, 25 days?
Because they know what time it is. It's like, look, this
I
might be
know.
the last time I be with my family. So while I can't be locked up legally right now, let me go ahead and spend time with my family and get this out the way, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride for them after he gets out of there, man.
It's crazy.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Trying to
So,
explain where all that money went.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's just going to walk away with it. I feel 100% certain. And you know what? The people that donated that money to them attempting to try and move the election back in his direction. Honestly, I feel like most of those people are probably just going to be like, yeah, that's okay. That's what we expected.
So where do you think the next Trump hotel will be?
Ooh, Saudi Arabia. I believe that it will be like in the United, like in that area. I think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
I think that's where it'll be.
What do you think, Nate? The next breaking ground Trump hotel. What do you think?
Russia.
It'll be?
Moscow.
Moscow.
I can see that.
It could be either.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, I really don't know where I want to. Maybe he might, because I think his next one will be the presidential Trump hotel.
Every
Yeah.
every
You get
room
what
will
I'm
be
saying?
a presidential suite.
It'll be
can see
all
that.
gold. You get what I'm saying? Like
can see
every
that.
room has to be like a standard.
The 2018 presidential suite.
I could see that.
Ridiculous amounts of money spent.
I mean, not
there.
2018.
All in gold.
2016, 2020.
Slight urine smell everywhere.
Oh my!
Every
God,
presidential
dude.
suite with that number from 2016 to
They're all in the
2020
45.
All of them.
Oh, I
45?
see. I got you.
will be
I
the
got you.
best suites ever.
I got you.
And then in 2021, like, you'll get sick before you leave.
Unless you have the opportunity to take the presidential vaccine.
Oh yeah.
So I heard somebody say something. This was funny. There was, I want to say it was either on Seth Meyers or it was on Jimmy Fallon. But Trump's out there calling this the Trump vaccine. This is the vaccine. He said, I always thought that the vaccine was named after the problem or the reason. He goes, okay, that's all right. We'll call it the Trump vaccine because it's it was the Trump virus. For the United States, it was the Trump virus.
It works.
It was the Trump virus. It wasn't the China virus. It wasn't the Wuhan virus. It wasn't the Kung flu virus. All the baloney that he threw out there. This is for the United States. Technically, also for Mexico and Canada. This was the Trump virus.
Yeah, the
It's
virus
his fault.
that he didn't tell anybody about, but
Right.
he knew about.
And then you see, and that goes back around to Senator Perdue from Georgia, the guy that's running for another round.
And Loeffner.
Yeah.
They both took out money knowing stuff was about to flip.
They sold off their stocks right after they got the intelligence reports about the virus.
Dang.
So they made money off of the virus.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And
Crazy.
she's already the girl that's running, she's the richest person in the.
She owns the Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
She owns the Atlanta Hawks.
Crazy.
So the last thing I'm going to talk about is apparently pythons might become the new menu item in Florida. So only in Florida. Apparently scientists can, they're waiting for.
Reminds me so much of, what's the movie?
Snakes on the plane.
No, not
Oh,
snakes.
You talking about the one with Ice Cube?
No.
Oh,
it's
man. How many
Is
more
it a
snakes?
snake movie?
No, it wasn't even about snakes.
That's what I was
We
doing
can't-
right
we
there.
can't figure it out. Then.
Hold on. It's
Where
the
he-
guy
he-
playing football.
Blindside?
No. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler.
Not the
Waterboy.
longest yard.
Water boy.
Water boy. Remember his mom
with
had
the
the
alligators?
python? But the mom had the python with the apple in his
Yeah.
mouth on the dinner table whenever he took home Vicky Valancourt.
Yeah, Vicky Valancourt. It's Vicky Valancourt. So the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is collaborating with the Florida Department of Health to investigate the mercury levels in pythons to determine if they can be safely consumed. If so, the snakes may end up in restaurant menus and dinner tables across the state. Pythons are a non-venomous constrictor primarily found in South Florida, where they pose a serious risk to native wildlife in the region. So once this occurs, they're going to encourage people to go ahead and catch the pythons and
Sell them to
kill them, eat them, sell them, whatever.
So they want them to catch them when they're alive and then
Yes.
let the other people kill them?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're
Yeah,
encouraged-
good luck with that,
Yeah.
Florida.
They're encouraging residents to remove and humanely kill pythons when they can at any time during the year and report any sightings to officials.
Damn.
also,
Would you eat python?
I've had
If you knew it
I've
was
had-
safe.
I've had alligator.
I've had alligator. It's
So
good.
maybe if it tastes like alligator, yeah.
I've eaten
I would.
snake. I've eaten rattlesnake before.
You
I
think
have
it'll
not.
be tender because those are a lot of muscles right there.
It probably tastes fishy.
I imagine you'd have. There's a yeah. I don't
Be like a reptilian.
honestly.
Kinda
It's gonna get
taste.
fried. It's Florida.
It has to
it's
be
gonna
fried.
get fried.
Yeah, it has to be fried.
So I've had snake over a camp. I've had rattlesnake over a campfire. That
That
was
you've
it.
cooked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want y'all to look out for the new movie in 2022 starring Samuel L. Jackson, Snakes on a Plate. It's coming.
I was like, what?
Snakes on a plate.
That was awesome.
I'm tired of these mother-loving snakes on this mother-loving plate.
Nah, they gonna do the TV version. I'm tired of these burger flipping snakes. That's what they say on the TV, don't they? On this on this Monday through Friday plate. That's what it's gonna be. This burger loving snake.
That was
On
awesome.
this Monday through Friday plate.
That was awesome. That was fantastic.
So tell me about this mercury bear. What is these? What is
Okay,
mercury?
so
Do we have mercury in us already?
we potentially have mercury.
Don't
in
we
us.
use mercury in thermometers?
They do. They used to use mercury in thermometers,
But they had to stop, right?
yeah, it's. I don't think they make a lot of thermometers with mercury anymore.
But if
They-
you find some,
Because
they'll
they can
probably
use
be-
that as poison.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, you could break it and potentially poison somebody with it. But so the idea basically is, look, I have done a lot of like weight loss and weight gain and weight loss and whatnot. And one of the things that I did during one of my stints doing weight loss was I ate nothing but tuna. Like I ate tuna all the time, and there is a high amount of mercury in tuna. And at one point, I was told that the reason that I may be losing feeling in two of my fingers was because of mercury poisoning.
It's crazy.
I have since stopped eating as much tuna, and I have regained the feeling. And it was basically neuropathy. I couldn't grip things, and that feeling has come back.
That's crazy.
So,
So you had to stop eating tuna for that to happen?
I chose to stop eating tuna, and
What about salmon?
I think salmon has a little bit less. Well, it depends on, again, it depends on how much you're eating it. Like I
And
was
you were eating it like every day, like for lunch, is what you're saying.
I would have 2 packets of tuna a day.
Wow.
So it was a lot of tuna.
I hate tuna that much that I can absolutely say I probably would never eat that much tuna in my life, even if I had to. Like, I'll probably catch like some fish or something somewhere else. Just,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like, I like salmon, but tuna,
Yeah.
it's got a certain smell to it that I just can't get along
Well,
with.
I was doing the flavored tuna, so it was like the jalapeno bumblebee
Oh,
tuna.
wow.
and
I didn't even know they had that.
They have buffalo flavored tuna.
Oh, I might try
Is that
buffalo
Bumble? Is
flavor.
that Bumble? What's the
I want to say it's Sunkissed.
Sunkissed? Okay.
It's like the packet. You can get 90 calorie, 80 calorie packets. There's a lot of protein. It's good. I mean, and it's good. It tastes good. And I would eat it with a fork.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I was told by a friend that there's the potential that might
That's
be why
you
I was
can't
losing
use a
feeling.
fork.
That's right.
Damn.
Why do you keep
That's
dropping
why
the packet?
That's why people lose weight when they eat a lot of tuna because they can't like mechanically feed it to themselves.
You're like, yo.
You lose a lot of weight if you can't feed yourself. So just eat a lot of tuna.
Well, I don't know, man. I seen on 600 Pound Life Whereas a lot of people that's not feeding themselves, then they got somebody feeding them.
Oh, don't worry, they'll go numb too, but just on one side.
I don't think I could say anything else. I think that's going to have to do it for tonight. That is going to do it for the All About Nothing podcast. I want to thank Nique the Geek as our engineer and producer tonight.
Yes, thank you, Nique.
Trent Clark. We're sorry Zach King couldn't be with us, so you could hear his sultry voice.
Oh man,
but he'll be back. We're gonna make sure he's all healed up and feeling fine.
Yes.
Next week we do have a special guest. I don't know if we want to say who it is yet, just
we won't
in
have
case.
to say. We can wait. We can let it be a
All right,
surprise.
fair enough. Want to thank everybody for listening. Please make sure whatever you're listening to us on, please rate, review, subscribe, all of that. Also, regardless of which platform you're on, go ahead and download all the platforms and just rate, review, and subscribe on all.
Because
of
you
them.
know we need it. You know we need it, baby.
Also,
And
don't
any-
forget.
yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, and anywhere you can find this podcast, you can also find my music.
There it is.
That's right.
That's absolutely correct. You want to find Nique the Geek definitely on Apple Podcasts because I subscribed on there.
Yes.
Do you get any notification when people subscribe, or do you?
I don't, but I can check the stats and watch you.
Apple
Okay.
gets a notification.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah.
that's our
You'll
notification.
pop up on the demographics.
Well, on our webpage, I linked to your social page that had Spotify and Apple.
Okay, yeah.
I linked it to that off of your Facebook.
The
So
link tree. Yeah.
yes, that's what it was.
Nice.
But also don't forget, we're still looking for the your Leave It in 2020, and you wanted me to add something else to your.
it was radical.
Radical, yes. So I did add Radical. Radical is now on the list. Also, Proud Boys was added to the list by by
Are
Twit.
these like words y'all
Yeah.
leaving in 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
tours.
I want to leave half of everything I hear on TikTok in 2020.
I mean, but that's a lot of writing. Nique.
I
So
wanna
you need to be a little bit more.
They're using Glizzy. Leave
Glizzy.
it.
I just want you to just delete TikTok for me, please. Please just
I
get
don't
rid
know
of
about
it.
that. I want to.
Because I hate. I don't want to say it, but I hate whenever y'all send it to the group chat and I have to look.
I don't have
Oh,
TikTok.
I hate it. I hate it
So
when
you want to
y'all
leave TikTok in 2020?
leave the whole TikTok.
Facebook is working on that because they put reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're working on it.
Yeah.
I
TikTok in
definitely
2020.
TikTok is so aggravating.
I was just telling someone today I do not have a TikTok
Me
account,
neither.
So I don't.
I got some experiment TikTok accounts.
Okay.
I want to see like if I can go viral effortlessly.
All right.
So I made like a little TikTok a couple days ago, and one day it got like 3,000 views.
We're gonna leave TikTok intact.
Yeah.
That's a lot
But
to say.
also, Zach said next week. I think that's our final show.
It'll be our final show of the
for
year.
the year. So we have to also think of good things to say about Donald J. Trump.
Oy.
At least one
One good thing. Everyone's got to
thing-
come up with one good thing.
to say about
I've
Donald
already
J.
got mine.
Hold on, save it. Save it for next week.
Yeah, save it for next week.
All right.
Yeah.
But-
All right. Well, terrific. Thank you very much for listening to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Trent Clark, Dominique Stewart, Nique the Geek. We are coming to you from the GOT Sound Studio here in Columbia, South Carolina. I want to thank the studio for letting us record again this week. It's
Thank you,
fantastic. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's tremendous. It's what are all the Trump words we could use?
Very big.
Bigly.
Bigly. It's not bigly.
I am comfortable.
Me too. I'm not.
It's a very intimate spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very like if you want to come and get some work done and feel like you're still at home, but you're still in a place of business.
But we don't let you smoke though.
No,
You can't
no
smoke
smoking in here.
Not yet. Maybe
Hey.
in the next building. Oh my God, that was a big hit.
I want to say.
Oh my God, that was a big hit.
I want to say also, we were going to try and have Desmond on from the what is the
Let's
show
just
again?
sleep on that.
Let's just sleep on that. So if you haven't checked out that podcast, they gave us a shout out on wow, that was a big hit. They gave us a shout out. You guys gave us a shout out on a podcast a couple weeks ago. So make sure to check out on Apple Podcast at least the Let's Just Sleep on That podcast.
That's right.
Another GOT Sound sponsored podcast. And
Fantastic too.
Yeah.
Desmond's voice is awesome. I mean, you guys' voices is awesome too.
Thanks.
but
Thanks, baby.
Nah, I get it though.
It sounds good.
I have a better put it on a song voice.
No. I think you sound great on this one too.
Neat used to sound like a mouse
Oh,
back in the
man.
day. They used to say he used to sound
You
like
hear this?
No, this not
We're
words in
talking
my
from
mouth.
a dude that when he screams sounds like Mickey Mouse.
But this wasn't coming from me. This came from somebody else. You know that. The
man.
last person that recorded. You get what I'm saying?
I did listen. You know, when I was putting music on SoundCloud and anybody could say whatever they wanted to.
Oh,
and
no.
Somebody was like, "Is this song recorded by Alvin and the Chipmunks?"
Oh my God.
Man.
It is what it is. I tried to sound a lot like Lil Wayne, and
Yeah.
that was the problem. You know what I'm saying?
But
Well,
now
your
you got
music,
your own sound.
Nah, I found
your
my own
music
sound,
sounds
yeah.
great.
He found your own sound and you found your own studio to make the sound. So
It's awesome. So thank you very much to the GOT Sound Studio here in Columbia, South Carolina for hosting the All About Nothing podcast. Make sure to check out our website, theallaboutnothing.com. You can email us at theallaboutnothing.com. I'm sorry, that isn't correct. It's the show at theallaboutnothing.com. And if you want to call and leave us a message with your Leave It in 2020, phone number is 803-672-0533. Thank you again, guys. This was a great week. Enjoyed it. We're going to post this up so you get to listen to it. We'll be back next week for the last show of 2020. Season 4 will wrap itself up. So for Trent Clark and Nique the Geek, Barrett Gruber here, you all have a great week.